We have another one on the ground. We have two. Because she looks just like her daddy. I want to show you something. That's not a second Minnie Pearl baby. So the past couple of days have not been great, to say the least. But the main concern at this point is to get Minnie Pearl through labor. Now, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 50 minutes before we have something happen. But we are definitely in labor with Minnie Pearl. So Minnie Pearl is one of those goats that eats and chews cud until she's actively drying off a kid. We got a couple little pushes out of her, and then now she's breaking between contractions to munch. Like I said, she's gonna munch the whole time. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, no, baby. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Come on, baby. You got it. Oh, I know. You're so good, baby. She is pushing in contractions, and then between contractions, she's stopping. We'll give her a minute. Oh, labor burps, baby. So one thing we've noticed about goats is they want to always put their butts as close to a wall as possible, and the best we can conclude is they like being able to push their feet into it, like they have traction. Yeah, I know, baby. You got it, Mama. No, you gotta quit licking me until you get the baby out. Oh, big yawn. Big yawn. So she had some fluid and stuff come out a minute ago, and that's what you see her licking off the ground. It's instinctual. As soon as they start smelling that, they want to get it cleaned up, because that's what attracts predators. Good girl. Good girl, Mama. Good girl. Big pushes, big pushes. Big pushes. Big pushes. There you go, baby. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. You know? Trying to keep the kids occupied because it is a gorgeous day after a lot of crappy temperatures. It's muddy and there's still snow on the ground, but it's warm, as you can tell because I'm wearing shorts.
Doesn't feel as heavy as the other one. Do you want me to start over? No, me too. Oh. I do!
Oh, hold on. Good girl. Push, 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 push. Uh-huh. Yep. I want to say. There's a hoof, which is what you want to see. Good girl. Good girl. We want to see a second hoof. I know. Keep going, Mama. So, you can see how the hoof will pop out and then it pops back in. That's really common. So, a lot of times, once you get the two hoofs out, if you can just grab them and hold them to apply counter pressure, not pull, just hold. That way they don't lose progress every time between contractions. It's very helpful. She sounds like she's dying. It's labor. It's labor. Look up the definition. So, she's not in distress. She just sounds funny. She's got a combination of labor burps and still licking birth fluid. Come on. I got two hoofs. Yeah, come on. And I'm not holding, I'm just holding pressure on those hoofs. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yep, there you go. There you go. Yep, come on. Good girl. Oh, I know. Oh. The baby's trying to kick out of my eye. Good girl. I know, baby. Let's see. Yep, there's a nose. You got it. You got it. You got the right presentation. Oh, still not pulling, just applying a little pressure. I know. Yep, I know. I know. I know. You got it. Keep going. Keep going. Yep. You got it. Woo! You got it, Mama. There we go. There we go. There we go. Woo! Yeah. Woo! Good girl, good girl. Oh, that's a big one. Holy crap, Minnie. Huge. Little boy. Yep, we got one little boy. There we go. Yeah. This is the largest kid we've had out of a Nigerian.
Think so?
Oh, for sure. So you can hear him like sneezing, and that's good. That means he's trying to clear out that bird fluid. Y'all see me sucking some of it out, but he is big. Big yawn, big yawn. Okay. So this is also a Possum baby. Possum is the new buck we got this year from Sage and Stone Homestead. He is a blue cactus lineage. He is kind of on a trial phase to see if he's going to throw multiple teats, and we'll see what happens. The first baby I don't think has any, as long as we don't have like a spur in there that you can't see because he's tiny. So we'll have to see what this one looks like in a little bit. She was not supposed to be bred this spring. Mr. Possum, pesky Possum, decided to break out and breed on my Nigerians. Our plan is to get our Nigerians to kid in the fall, so we have fall milk, and our Nubians be in the spring, so we have summer milk. Because Nigerians cycle year-round, Nubians only cycle seasonally, so they have to have spring kids. After our last video, several people were, that's why I only kid in April, or this is why I only kid in there. We choose to kid in February. For one, when you have only seasonal cycles like Nubians, most of your standards, you don't have much of a choice because you only have a window, so big of a window to breed them. So you want to start as soon as you can, essentially, so you can have multiple opportunities if they don't settle the first time. You gamble with the weather, but it's not always negative degrees outside. Like today, it's 50. Tomorrow and Tuesday, it's going to be 60. So yeah, you may have cold weather too, but you also may get really good weather. And these babies have a chance to get on their feet before they have to start dealing with things that are worse than the cold, and that's the heat, that's worms, that's things like that can also be really hard for babies to deal with. These babies are a little more not resistant. They got a little more gumption in them because they're ready to go. And kidding in the summer in the heat is just as dangerous because my barn gets hot during the summer. So if I have a big goat in here laboring, she can overheat. The babies can overheat. So no matter when you kid, you're gambling with the weather. And there's downfalls to both sides of it. I will take cold kidding over hot kidding because I get hot. Like with a lot of homesteading, there's not a right or a wrong way to do it. There's just different ways to do it that work better for everyone. This is what works for us, but it may not work for everybody. You are spunky. Get it, Minnie. I know. So, this little guy is probably the biggest Nigerian dwarf I've ever had born on my farm. I average like 3 pounds, and that's generous. This guy's huge. Now, my minis that I had last year were big, probably about as big as this one. So I'm curious to see how much this one weighs. We like weighing them anyways within the first 24 hours so we can kind of track how they're growing. So we're going to weigh this guy. And our favorite way to weigh these little guys is a reusable Walmart bag. Because if you buy one of the kid slings, they're too little. It doesn't work. So we just take them. He's okay. Mom's gonna panic for just a moment. Okay. We're in the back.
I'm trying to get on camera.
5.
5 pounds?
5. 5 pounds even.
Wow.
If this is right, I mean,
We're gonna have to.
I can't hang myself up by it. Then go that high.
We did have a fancy digital scale. Neither one of us really liked it, to be honest. And, well, it died. And somehow Reagan had this one. I don't know.
Papal.
Oh, next thing is to get this little guy drinking some colostrum. He's very frustrating and very stubborn already. True to his maleness. In my experience, boys are the worst to get to nurse. They are always the stupidest. He wants to nurse, but you try to get him to root in the right spot and he gets mad. So you just kind of let him figure it out himself. Like he's currently trying to root the wall. So I'll bring him over here. Set forward. Hey, hey. Look. Hey! Look. I didn't grab the GoPro, but I want to show you something. That's not a second Minnie Pearl baby. That's Mr. Marshmallow. Minnie Pearl only has one baby. I don't want a bottle baby, and so we're going to graft Mr. Marshmallow onto Minnie, and she's already taken to him. As soon as I walked in, she started cleaning him with it, so I think this is going to work. This would be great for me if it does work. I'm back again, ladies. I'm back again. Now, with a change of season, it is now 9 o'clock at night. And someone has things going on. So Eden is now in labor. So we are going to camp out down here. Minnie is in the kidding stall, and I do not want to remove her from the kidding stall because I'm attempting to graft Mr. Marshmallow to Minnie. And is it officially on his name? Because I've been calling him that.
Yeah.
So we have Pongo, which is a little Dalmatian printed dog, or not dog, Dalmatian printed goat. There's coyotes that way in going nuts, so that's why he's going nuts, and that's what his job is. Makes it very difficult to film YouTube, though. So while Eden is just doing her thing, there's nothing really to do, we can talk about what's happening here. I took a short clip on my phone. You saw that earlier. It is now 2 hours later, I think, roughly about 2 hours later since I brought Marshmallow in here. And what I did was bring him down here and found some birth goo and put all over him. That way he smells like a fresh kid. The good thing is he is still super young. He was only born on Thursday, so he still has the newborn cry. I wouldn't try to graft anything much older than what I did here. And one reason I feel comfortable doing it is the fact that Pongo, Minnie's biological child, is so big and already so spunky. I think he's going to be okay competing with the much smaller Marshmallow. But she's doing it. She's doing really well with them. I've watched both boys nurse at the same time. She's still licking on both of them. You've seen them both climbing all over her. And this is good for a lot of reasons. I don't want a bottle baby. I don't have time for a bottle baby. I would have done it because that's what I'm going to do. But this is so much better for him to be in the barn with goats, learning how to be a goat, and I don't have to bottle feed him. He's getting exactly what he needs. So, yes, I'm driving Deacon to school right now. Yeah, so what just happened was really crazy. I stayed up with Eden all night to watch her. I checked her every 30 minutes on the camera. When we filmed last night, she had discharge, but it was like snot. No, sorry. It was like booger discharge. This morning, finally, she had snot, which means that is more like amniotic fluid type discharge. Not really amniotic fluid, but it's closer to birth. It's not her mucus plug. And I text Heather and I told Reagan too. I said, she's gonna pop these babies out the second I'm pulling out of the driveway to take Deacon to school. And what do you know? I'm at the end of my driveway loading the camera and she is on her side pushing. So I jumped out of the car, left Deacon in it running. I can hear him from where I'm at in the barn. Delivered a baby, helped her deliver a baby, which just meant, just like I did with Minnie, once the back feet were kind of presenting, I noticed I could see a mouth and a tongue. I just applied pressure when she pushed, so she didn't backslide. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I literally plopped it out. She started cleaning it in front of her, and I ran inside, washed my hands, and am on my way to school. So we're going to drop him off as quick as we possibly can and go back to school. Or not back to school. Come home from dropping him off and go see what's going on with some babies. But she has at least one, and it's small, so I'm assuming there's multiples in there. Well, I'm home now. I think it's been about 30 minutes-ish. I'm not sure. Let me see. Yeah, it's been about 36 minutes since I, delivered a baby and then took my kid to school. I've now put on farm clothes. Oh, and we have another one on the ground. We have two. I'm not surprised. I expected her to have another one on the ground. Of iodine. So we don't get any type of nasty sickness. I know. Oh, you're a little girl. And I think you're a little girl. Yeah? Two little girls. So I snipped just the very end of the umbilical cord off them because they were a little long and I don't want mom to step on them or the babies, but I coated my scissors with iodine before I did it because they're not exactly sterile. I'd already sprayed both umbilical cords. the bigger of the two has eaten. The little one may have eaten too, but like I said, girls are so much smarter. Now, little Pongo, bless his heart, he's as tall as his mama almost already. So that's part of his problem, is he just couldn't figure out how to nurse it first. But we'll check on them in just a minute, because what I did is I like spreading my breeding out a little bit, so I have like some days hopefully in between to rest and sleep and function. When I don't hand breed, that's kind of hard. So these two went really close, and I only have one kidding stall, with the known factor that I would probably use the boys stall that's divided in two as a kidding stall for my bigger Nubians. So what I did is I took Minnie and her two little boys, one of them being Pongo, which is her biological, you know, one of them being Pongo, which is her biological baby, and the other being Mr. Marshmallow. I took Pongo, which is Minnie's actual biological child, and then I took Mr. Marshmallow to the boys' stall next door. They're both super active and moving around and hopping. Obviously, Mr. Marshmallow is, he's several days old, but even Mr. Pongo's going really well. So that way, that put Eden in here in the kidding stall with lots of straw and easier to monitor. And it also meant I had the camera, so when I got to the end of the driveway, I noticed she was pushing and came delivered one of these two babies. I don't know which one, but I delivered somebody. But I knew she could do it. She's done it before. She's a good mama. So I wasn't worried about like needing to dry them off. It is chillier right now than it was yesterday when Minnie delivered, but I had the heat lamp on, so they have that as warm, you know, it's warmer. It's up kind of high right now because Eden's moving around and I don't want her to bump it. So now it is just all about getting them dry, getting them both eating, and I may grab the hairdryer and help dry them off a little bit because there is just a little bit of a chill in the air. But they are already moving around. They were both standing when I got here. Eden had cleaned them, fairly well. She's munching on some alfalfa, and she's not stressed at all, because we'll get that question if us being around the mamas is stressful, and she could care less that I'm in here handling her and her babies. She's happily eating some food. So let me get this camera set up and start trying to dry some babies a little bit and make sure we're both nourished. I do always make sure too, after they kid, if I don't know for sure, is I strip a little bit of milk out, because they'll get a plug, and sometimes it's really hard for newborns to pull that plug out, and if they don't pull that plug out, they never get any milk. So I do milk a little bit of colostrum out just to make sure that plug comes out, and I've seen the plug come out several times.
Uh-oh.
Hey guys, it is now a couple days later, and Minnie kidded Sunday afternoon, Eden kidded 8 a.m. on Monday. And let's find us some tiny baby goats to look at. I thought they were all outside. So what I did is, they stayed in the kidding stall for about 24 hours. Then I moved them next door to the boys' pen for 24 hours. So Minnie's kids stayed with Minnie over there. When Eden's kids hit 24 hours old, I put them with Minnie and her two kids next door in the boys' pen, where we normally keep our bucks, which is just right over this wall. And I did that for a couple reasons. Because it's been so nasty and muddy here, and we still had snow on the backside of our barn until yesterday, I wanted to give everything time to dry out before I put kids in there. But now they're able to go outside when they want to. Here's Mr. Marshmallow. You can see Miss Minnie is being a wonderful adopted mama to him, and so that worked wonderfully. And there's her actual biological boy, Mr. Pongo, after 101 Dalmatians, because Keaton thought he looked like a Dalmatian, and you can see he is still a chunk. And I talked about it briefly, that I grafted Mr. Marshmallow onto Minnie, and I did that probably the quickest, simplest way. I probably could have done a better job doing it, as far as like having him out here. The second I realized she wasn't going to have another kid start covering him with stuff and get him in there quicker. But honestly, it worked really well, and I just found some of the leftover birth fluids. I found some leftover birth fluids and covered him in it. And then I also squirted some of her milk on him. And she immediately started cleaning and licking him. And like I said earlier, when she had first kidded, she cleans her kids obsessively. So I was really hopeful, and obviously it has worked out really well. Those boys are super healthy, super hoppy, and I'm so ecstatic. Miss Eden's little girls are right here sleeping. They are so stinking cute. Now, all of these kids that are on the ground so far belong to our new buck, Possum. Possum was on a trial run because there was a small chance that he would throw multiple teats. So we made sure to purposely breed him to a couple does that we know have the potential to throw multiple teats, making sure he wouldn't throw them, because it has to be from mom and dad, or other words, buck and doe. And so far, until they get a little older, there is no obvious multiple teats. There is not what is, you know, a teat immediately. So we're going to continue to check for a spur teat, which would be almost like a bump or something that's hard to see when they're this small. So far, we are good. So this little one has a name, at least for now, because she's going to be for sale. We're calling this one PJ for Possum Jr., because she looks just like her daddy. And she is a little blue-eyed doeling. Say hi. Say hi, PJ. I look just like my daddy. Yeah, I look just like my daddy. This little one is a little more solid colored. But isn't she cute? She is also blue-eyed with the little white poll and some frost. And she's got a couple little white spots on her. A little bit of black. Isn't she cute? They're both adorable. Everyone is super healthy, super happy. They're enjoying some nice weather today. We are so happy that they're here and doing good. They're eating, they're hoppy and happy. You want to help me close the video? I'm gonna sit here next to Miss Dawn and talk about her for a minute, because she is our next doe to kid. She is going to be having some mini Nubians, and let me tell you, she's ready. She is sick of being pregnant. She is huge. I don't even know if you understand. I mean, that's my hand. Can you understand how big this goat feels? She cannot breathe properly. She snores. That's my shirt. Someone was chewing on me. She is ready to get those babies out. I don't know how many's in there. I'm hoping for twins. I don't really like triplets. Say hi. You want to say hi? Miss Elsa back here. They are so happy for the sunshine and the dry weather. That is all I have for you today, guys. I know this is kind of a long video because two goats kidded so close together and there wasn't really a good way to break it up. I hope you enjoyed it in the chaos of kidding season. I hope you subscribe so you can see the next babies that'll be here and see this mama have some gorgeous little mini Nubians. But I'll see you on the next video, guys. I'm Megan from the GWP Homestead. Bye, guys. Can you boop them out? Oh, no boop. She wouldn't boop you out. Let's see if Elsa will. Will you boop them out? Boop.